Great opportunity to be here. I've never been here before. And when I was invited a few days ago, my people told me, I said, you must go over here. This is a brilliant institution. I think we will be able to, expose our thoughts to this institution over here. And I said, I'm going to be in Delhi. I don't think so I'm going to be here. But luckily, the trip got canceled and we were able to confirm this. So I'm really, really happy to see all of you over here. I was told that I should speak to you about leadership. I was told to speak to you about entrepreneurship. And I was trying to find a connect between the two. And then I was told that, all of you are from the Department of Commerce. You're going to be going out in the world. Some of you are going to take up jobs in the field of business. Some of you are going to turn into entrepreneurs. A good entrepreneur or a good businessman or a good professional in the commerce field today, I hope you'll agree with me, needs to know his assets and his liabilities. Do you agree with that? So I think we all need to know who in India can become one of our biggest assets, and that's the person I'm going to talk to you about. I'm going to take a very unusual approach and talk to you about business, and at the same time, I'm going to speak to you about Gandhi. Have any of you given thought that Gandhi would have made a great businessman? Do you agree? I agree. Any of you agree? One person agrees with me. Okay, I hope I'm able to I'm able to ask you the same question 10 minutes later, and I hope we'll have all the hands up over there. You must be confused. Gandhi and business, Gandhi and entrepreneurship, what is the connection? So I'm going to pick up a few qualities a good entrepreneur should have. Do you agree a good entrepreneur should have fantastic communication skills? Yes? Did Gandhi have good communication skills? But let's put it in today's context, okay? I think all of you know who Steve Jobs was, right? I am sure you know what an iPod and an iPhone is. Do you know in 2007, there were 110 million iPods, iPhones in the market? And do you know why? Because of the simplicity of the device. It was plug and play. 110 million. Just because the device was just plug and play. There were lots of other devices which were similar, which had record, rewind, blah, blah, everything. But what Steve Jobs did was he made it extremely simple. And this was 2007. Rewind to 1930. What did Mahatma Gandhi do? He came to 300 million Indians and he said two things: non-cooperation and non-violence. Simple. He says, don't think anymore. He says, don't hit back and don't do what the British ask you to do. And what happened? They left the country, right? They left us. So what I'm trying to say is the power of communication. When you extrapolate Gandhiji's 300 million in 1930 to today's terms, he would beat even the iPod. So he was a bigger communicator, a much more efficient communicator than even Steve Jobs. Second point, strategy. Do you think strategy is important? Extremely important, right? How many of you have heard about the Dandi March, the Salt March? Good question. I've got a few hands up. Okay, so Dandi March was a very interesting thing which Mahatma Gandhi did. He started from the Sabarmati ashram in Ahmedabad with 78 people. And he walked for a certain number of days and reached the coast of Dandi, and he made salt over there. He must have done something right, because when he reached Dandi, he had 100,000 people over there, and people were making salt all over India. Do you know when he reached Dandi, how many newspapers around the world carried the news? 1,362 newspapers carried the news of Gandhi reaching Dandi. What I'm trying to tell you is he didn't have a PR agency, but he managed to rock the world. And he did it with strategy. And I'll tell you why he did it with strategy. Just think about this. Gandhi walked from Dandi to Dandi. It was 240 miles. That's what he walked. He walked it in 24 days. 240 miles, 24 days, 10 miles a day, right? He stopped at 48 villages, one for lunch, one for dinner. So I'm convinced that he strategized the entire march on the back of an envelope. He says, I will do 240 miles. I will do 48 villages because I need to stop for lunch. I need to stop for dinner and night halt. And I'll create and rock the world. And he did. So do you think he was a master strategist? Would you associate branding with Gandhi? Oh, let me put it another way. Do we have an international brand from India? You're all students of commerce. Anybody can tell me an international brand from India? International brand from India. Levi's, Coca-Cola, all these are American brands, international brands. I'm asking for an Indian brand. Tata, Reliance. But you know, honestly, if you go to a southern town in the US or you go to Canada, nobody will know what Tata and Reliance is. The fact of the matter is, the true brands of India, the true international brands of India are Gandhi, Taj Mahal, Yoga, Ayurveda, Vivekananda. Agreed. So what I'm trying to say is, now that you start looking at Gandhi like a brand, do you think he did anything to promote his brand? I have seen more than 2,000-3,000 photographs of Mahatma Gandhi. Obviously, all of them have been black and white. It took me some time to realize there's a whole branding strategy in each one of those photographs. Every time you look at a photograph of Gandhiji, you see a lot of people around him, all dressed in white, and he is the only half-naked man. Visually, your eyes will only go to him. I shouldn't say this, but I'm sure Gandhiji would have never allowed another half-naked man next to him.